Fury Station with 199. Also, Punk isn't wrong what he said about AEW. I mean, some people think he's wrong, some people don't think he's wrong. So, it divided us even more so. Trey Lindsay with a new membership. Trey, thank you very much. TK Banks with a 5. We saw fan footage after Raw went up the air in the Rock. Congrats with that belt. What a damn mess. Listen, man, Rock's telling right now. No matter what might be a problem with the story, The Rock himself is fucking killer. I love it. Adam Cass with a 5. Maybe we see Yankees Braves World Series in October. Guys, it's way too
The fuck is Tombstone?
If the Braves and Philly are in the playoffs, man, I'm not giving Braves any chance. Not for that.
Come on, record.
The John Wick of Spider Hunters, Nate, $5 Super Chat. JB, I just wanted to say thank you for all you do. And Hydru, LOL, and Maki Ito versus Minoru Suzuki had a weird classic to start the week. Not for me. Not for me.
I mean, WWE started off WrestleMania with Monday Night Raw, the great documentary, CM Punk on Arrow Milwaukee, and they just launched that next gen. WWE has really kicked off WrestleMania.
Number of variables to play. You don't know who it
And Jose Perez with a 199 TNT for life. That's all I got. See you at Manny. Jose, we will see you, and hopefully we'll see a lot of you at the tailgate and in and around Philadelphia.
Obey his orders.
Thank you for a great episode 42, guys. Hopefully you got a lot out of the discussion. And we will see you back next week, man, with all the post-Mania stuff. Mid-Mo Smart with 31 months. Great breakdown, fun interview, guys. Great show as usual. Travel safe and enjoy the tailgate, Mania, and festivities. Cheers. Thank you, guys. Hopefully we'll see you in Philly. And we'll see you back here normal time, Tuesday, for episode 43 of Tuesday Night Titans. We'll see you in Philly, guys. Thank you very much. And have a good night. Last night, Ken played. Last night, Marie won at Monopoly 2, with 0 houses and 0 hotels. Because Marie played new Monopoly scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery, with top prizes from $1,000 to $2 million. Like Ted, Marie also won a pile of money. But unlike Ted, Marie's money is real. Play new Monopoly scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery. Go directly to fun. Please play responsibly. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Fed free checking offers 0 fees and 0 penalty requirements for 0 hassle. PenFed Access American checking lets you earn money on your balance for dreams big and small. Choose the best account for you and start making the most of your money.
Hurry up, Marine.
Learn more at PenFed.org. Federally insured by NCUA. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed Credit Union.
We're all in the dark about
Commanders fans, while you're gearing up for the season, boost your financial play with an Now Plus credit card from Northwest Federal Credit Union. Whether you're buying tickets, a jersey, groceries for the game, or gas to get there, with 2 times points on everything, all the time, you'll score big on every purchase. Join NWFCU and get the card that always delivers. Visit NWFCU.org today. Northwest Federal Credit Union, official credit union of the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I don't know if this Continental Classic is going to be a ratings winner. If it's going to be a ratings bonanza for Tony Khan. I doubt that it's going to bring in huge numbers for him on Dynamite. But if you're looking for more of a sports-type presentation, straightforward pro wrestling, no bullshit, no interference, none of the gaga that you usually get on these shows. Especially with going heel matches and everything, Bullet Club Gold, yeah, Jeff Jarrett, Shane on his crew and all that. You're looking for just some really good pro wrestling in a sports-like package. That really is what the Continental Classic is. That's what Tony Khan is delivering to you here on these shows. If you like that kind of wrestling, then I think this tournament is right up your alley. And you probably are enjoying the tournament, so there have not been any big upsets. I mean, some people might say Brody King, maybe Eddie Kingston is kind of an upset. I don't really look at it that way. A lot of predictable finishes so far. No major surprise, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing from the tournament so far. I'm a big fan of the G1 finals. So the fact that AEW has effectively created their own and is, having it play out over the course of the next month, leading into World's End, which is this brand new pay-per-view they just added. Brand new tournament leading into a brand new pay-per-view. I like the concept. I like the idea. I do wish that he would shake up some of the finishes a little bit more. There's still time for that to happen. But what we got tonight was something that I do want to see more of, and that is Swerve Strickland in the main event. The place where Swerve should be is in the main event. He was in the main event on this show tonight against another worthy man in a main event, that being Switchblade Jay White. They had an excellent match in the Continental Classic tonight. As is the case, I think on Dynamite every week, they focus more on the gold. We have the blue league on Collision, here it's the gold league. And so we had Swerve and Jay White in the main event tonight, with Swerve picking up his second straight win, giving him 6 points so far in the tournament, matching Jon Moxley, who also earned an additional 3 points on the show tonight. So I very much want to see Swerve Strickland in more main events. I want to see him go all the way to the finals. I want to see him win the entire tournament. And especially if he's not going to be challenging for the world title anytime soon, let him win the entire tournament. Walked out tonight in that main event. Again, there's just a certain aura around him right now that wasn't there a few months ago. He beats Hangman Page in 2 straight matches. You've got Bryan Danielson on commentary tonight talking about how that Texas Death match that he saw between them at Full Gear was the most violent match that he's ever seen. And this is coming from a man who brutalized Ricky Starks in a strap match only a few months ago, which was pretty brutal in its own. Swerve comes out there, man, and again, he just feels like a main event player for the first time in this company, and I want to see that momentum continue. They can use this tournament to continue that momentum, and I think the way to do that is to send him all the way to the end. Hopefully that is where he is headed, because otherwise, if he doesn't make it to the finals, and I think it would be against Danielson at World's End, I don't know what else he's doing at World's End. Pretty shitty for him not to be on that show. I think he's got a spot with his name on it in that main event at the Nassau Coliseum. We also have a big match that is set up for television next week. It is official. It will be Christian Cage defending his TNT Championship against Adam Copeland, Edge and Christian, next week in Montreal. It's AEW's Canadian debut in Montreal. Obviously, they made their Canadian debut back in October. But this will be their first time specifically in Montreal. And I'm hoping that Tony Khan resists the urge, as others have done before, to recreate a certain infamous finish from Montreal. Let's not do it. We don't need it. Again, Christian Cage is a son of a bitch. So who knows? Maybe there'll be some. Look, this is going to be the first match that these two have had in an AEW ring. It will not be the
his turn, okay.
And for me, I think I would have held off on it for a pay-per-view, but I get them wanting to do the first match on TV. Christian's going to win. And it's going to lead to at least one more match. I would assume at World's End is when the rematch would take place. So this is the first of at least 2 that these 2 men are going to have. Doing it in Canada, I can understand the desire to want to do the match in Canada. So they officially set that match up on TV tonight. And Copeland left Christian with some parting words.
Oh, man.
Similar parting words as the ones that Christian left him when they shared a ring all those many weeks ago, and they had a big old hug in the middle of the ring.
Oh,
Christian told him, his best friend of 40 years, "Go fuck yourself," which became an instant meme. Tonight, Copeland got to turn things around on Christian, and he told Christian to go fuck himself. The only thing is, the TBS censor was a little late. He was a little late on the call. Obviously, they were supposed to edit it out. They didn't do that. Instead, it felt like forever. 5 or 6 seconds later, they decided to play some crowd audio to mute the actual live audio. So I don't know what they muted. I guess the crowd. I don't know what they were muting in this case. Obviously, they missed the mark there. This guy was later and Papa Shango coming down to the ring to interfere with Hogan and Sid at WrestleMania. What this person was doing. I don't know if they were out on a cigarette break. I don't know if they were just, I don't know, maybe they were listening to the sound off, they had their AirPods in, they were listening to this weekend's podcast. I don't know what the
Come on, man, what the fuck?
This guy had one job, and he failed miserably. Good.
Fuck is real by now?
I hope it slips through again.
Come on.
MJF was also on the show, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I hear the children, so let me tell you, I got news for you, Pash. The children have hurt worse than me. I'm willing to bet the children. MJF comes out tonight on this show. He tweeted and deleted the other day. If he is to be believed. Now, it is MJF that we're talking about here. There's always the possibility that
shit, man.
either there's no injury, or the injury isn't that bad, but he's trying to play things up with the big World's End main event next month. Always possible. Assuming he's telling the truth when he said that he went to have an MRI done on his shoulder. And his shoulder has a torn labrum. Now, a torn labrum is not a fun injury. A lot of wrestlers have had torn labrums before.
Maybe that I'm going at.
Through them, it's a painful injury. It's one that is not going to get any better unless you're going to try to heal, or if it's bad enough, you have to have surgery for it. It's a bad injury. It's a bad injury. It's not necessarily one that's going to put him on the shelf for 6 to 9 months, although if it's bad enough, it could potentially. But he announced that he has a torn labrum, but he's not going to bow out of his championship match with World's End. He is going to wrestle Samoa Joe on December 30th on Long Island at World's End with a torn labrum. Now, this is a guy who came diving off of the top rope to the floor when the table broke. He was going to do a big elbow drop to the announce desk on Jay White in their match in Full Gear. The table broke. Jay White is laying there, and he has to make a snap decision. What do I do? We have this big spot planned. The table just collapsed. The table is not cooperating with us here. Do we just abandon the spot and move on? Or do I go all the way up to the top and come diving all the way down to the floor, which has no give whatsoever? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And so up he went, and it was a stupid decision. I mean, look, I respect that for trying it, wanting to follow through, but it's a stupid decision. He comes diving off, and apparently he dislocated his hip. And the shoulder injury apparently was suffered on a Uranagi at the top rope. I don't even know that it was on that slope. But it is kind of odd that you have MJF for so long, right? He would go on social media, he would go on television, and he would mock the other wrestlers on the roster. You would go on social media sometimes and post some very serious, I thought, it made a lot of sense. I don't call them diatribes, but he would post these kind of missives on his Twitter, talking to talent and saying, look, you don't have to go out there and kill yourself with these people. These people are bloodthirsty. They don't give a shit. You guys are going out there doing all these crazy moves, and you're wrecking your body. You know, he's the smart one, right? He wouldn't go out there and do that. He's the guy that would go into these matches and he would have a dying team. So MJF is going to die, right? Then he would stop short and go get one. You know? Fuck you. But he would do that all the time. Now he's a babyface. And ever since he became a babyface, we've seen him do things that he's never done before. Try to pop the audience. He had that amazing leaping cutter out over the top rope in Full Gear, caught Jay White, took him all the way down to the floor, ran the ring. He's done dives now in other matches. He always say he would dive. Diving.
Fuck you! Hold on,
This one being the big elbow drop to the floor. And this guy now, all of a sudden, he's all banged up. He's dislocating his hip. He's got a torn labrum. He's like the walking wounded. I think MJF was making a lot more sense. He should take his own advice back when he was saying what he was saying before. He's the last person that Tony Khan could afford to have on the show. He has to be protected at all costs. He got to be smart about this, especially with Adam Cole being there. Last thing they need is MJF to be on the injured list for an extended period of time. And look again, injury is what he says it is. I commend him for wanting to do the match, wanting to soldier on. I don't know that that's the smart thing for him to be doing. I'm not even sure they would know the extent of the tear and how bad the injury is until they open him up. If he was going to go under the knife, maybe he could rehab it. Right, that would be the best outcome. It's not that bad. He can rehab it without surgery, but he was a little short in the way. All I know is that your world champion has a torn label coming off a dislocated hip. He's all banged up going into this pay-per-view coming up. You have to think there's a pretty decent chance that he's not going to walk out of that show as the AEW world champion. Or Joe may well walk out of that pay-per-view with a title. It's just the token title. He may end up getting it. Now, even before this injury news came out, I already thought there was a pretty decent chance that MJF was going to lose anyway at World's End, because we might get a day off this Devil storyline. The Devil might reveal himself, and that might be what leads to MJF losing this title. So this only increases the likelihood, in my opinion. MJF is walking in as the champion, and he's not walking out at that time. But again, they better hope that that injury isn't worse than it already is believed to be, and that he can rehab it on his own without having to go on for the night, because now you're possibly talking about months. You've already got Adam Cole, who's going to be out for an extended period of time. Timing could not be any worse on that. But he was on this show tonight, and they did do another angle involving the devil. The devil was not there as far as the devil. Plus, the devil was unmasked. He was right in front of the face. But the devil was not there. The devil's mission. And we had a writing that ended up on screen. And we'll get into all the ins and outs. Basically, there's going to be a tag team match on TV. Which is why I said I always have a little bit of caution when it comes to these, really anything involving MJF. Because I would like to think that if he was as banged up as he says he is, and he really does have a torn labrum, why is he wrestling in 2 years? Why would you even put him in the ring? It's a little odd to me, but it's not as if we haven't had injured people that Tony Khan has thrown out there before on the show. You know, hey, go ahead. You know. Brian Danielson apparently wrestled with a broken orbital bone. The match that everybody thought he suffered the injury, and he actually suffered it the week before. And he wrestled with the injury, so who knows what Tony Khan is willing to let these people go out there. We're going to talk about the show, though. This is your AEW Dynamite review. It is Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. I'm Solomon's here. You know, it was a hell of a month. It has been a hell of a month. We had Full Gear, which was a wild night, a wild stream here on Channel Survivor Series, which was our biggest stream ever. And it was actually a lot of activity going on Monday night as well. So hopefully we'll be able to end here on a strong note. We are celebrating 16 years of the Sound Off all month long, so you may see some classic clips spliced in here during the stream. Do not be alarmed, you are not on the wrong stream. We're splicing in some fun moments from the past. Like and subscribe. 400 likes is the goal for our Keep Poker segment tonight. Super chats are open. There is a new $69 one as well for those of you who care about that. And a shout out to Lady Fire Panda. I know you're with us. Fire Panda is celebrating a birthday, so I want everybody in the chat to wish Fire Panda a very happy birthday. Fire Panda also gifted 30 channel memberships before we went live. She's trying to give Silver Tower a run for his money. I said,
What's the fastest way out?
I don't know, it's going to be hard. But David and Goliath, but thank you for the 30 members.
Commanders fans, while you are gearing up for the season, boost your financial play with a Now Plus credit card from Northwest Federal Credit Union. Whether you're buying tickets, a jersey, groceries for the game, or gas to get there, with 2 times points on everything, all the time, you'll score big on every purchase. Join NWFCU and get the card that always delivers. Visit NWFCU.org today. Northwest Federal Credit Union, official credit union of the Washington Commanders. What you're hearing is Hardy Fiber Cement siding living up to its reputation as the siding that handles hail and impact with
James Hardy knows how important his reputation is, especially when you're a contractor. That's why Hardy's siding withstands severe weather better than vinyl siding. With styles to match its surface, so you can be sure you're providing your clients with the best. Protect your reputation with exterior products like James Hardy.
Bryan Danielson is out, joined Excalibur and Kaz on commentary here for all of the Continental Classic tournament matches on the show. He's out there in bandage over his eye. He is going to be back in the ring. His first match back since the injury. He's going to be on Collision this Saturday, WrestleMania Kings. But for tonight, he was just on commentary duty in the first of 3 bold league matches here on this show. We got with Jon Moxley one-on-one with Jay Lethal. Jon Moxley, a winner last week. Jay Lethal, a loser. I have a feeling you're going to be hearing me say that more often as this tournament goes on. So Lethal slapped on an early figure 4 leg lock. Moxley rolled outside. He was still in the hole, and both men crashed it. Lethal connected on a dive, and then he did a Fargo strut, and that allowed Moxley a chance to hit a dive of his own. Moxley, though, landed awkwardly on the leg that he was working over. Lethal was, and Lethal made that his focus pretty much for the remainder of the match was the injury point. Moxley connected on a desperation cutter, and then we had a forearm exchange, and that led to a King Kong lariat. Lethal countered the Death Rider into a lethal combination. He wanted the figure 4, he got it. Moxley, though, made the ropes, and he punted Moxley's leg. Lethal wanted after that the lethal injection, but Moxley dropped down to the mat in a turtle-like position. He dropped to the mat, and he covered up like a little turtle. So Lethal went over to get him. Of course, Moxley was just playing possum. He ended up dropping him with a double arm DDT. Moxley followed with a pile driver, and then he got a rear naked choke. He got Lethal down on the mat. There was nowhere for him to go, and he tapped out. A shout out to Amir, who just subscribed to the show. I appreciate it. Lethal, he tried to hold on, but he tapped out. Moxley picks up 3 points, which in addition to the points he got last week gives him 6 points so far in this tournament. Lethal, it's his second straight loss. I still think that Mark Briscoe should have gotten the win over Moxley in the main event last week. I mean, I think that would have been the way to go. Give him the upset win. Set the tone here for the rest of the tournament that anything can happen instead of being playing the predictable card. They didn't do that. They want to keep Moxley strong. They want to have him on a roll until maybe he'll lose, maybe he'll be an upset, looking deeper into the tournament. I'll tell you what though, I'm digging these Jay Lethal matches without all the outside nonsense and all the outside interviews. I'd like to see, I guess we'll keep getting it for as long as the tournament is going on. After that, I guess we'll be back to the usual. He may well make it through this tournament without any points. I'm hoping they give him at least 1. Just give him 1. Just give him a bone. Chew on. You know, he may go winless in this thing. So after the match, we got some comments from Collision. This was backstage on Collision on Saturday, actually like the second one. It was Eddie Kingston. After his loss to Brody King, he was sulking, he was down, sitting up against the wall in the whole backstage. He said, maybe I got a little lucky, coming into this tournament and putting both of my titles into the pot.
Oh, shit.
He announced that he was putting both of his titles on the line for his full year. He said it would be in every single match. And either he misspoke or Tony Khan changed his mind, because later on Tony Khan clarified that the titles would be effectively decided in the finals. It's not as if, he lost to Brody King, and so now Brody King is the Ring of Honor World Champion. So they're not technically on the line. But he said maybe he got a little cocky. He said humble at victory, humble at defeat. And he just said, basically onward from here. We have to regroup, we have to heal up. It was just a very straightforward promo. I like the way that they're playing up the sports aspect of this.
So here in this promo, you have him talking about how I'm going to get myself right, I'm that strong. You know, and it's very straightforward stuff, which is really what this tournament is. When they cut back to the announcement, Danielson kind of be firing about the confidence that Kingston had when he put both his titles on the line in the tournament compared to now. We saw him not being capable. He said that he fractured his orbital bone. Not only in one spot, but in two places. He had surgery, and yet he was coming into this tournament with confidence. He said he's coming into this tournament. Bryan Danielson cuts a better promo sitting on his ass at the commentary table than a lot of wrestlers do in the middle of the ring. This was great. And I think that match coming up on Collision is also going to be great. Danielson and Kingston had a match. And I don't remember exactly what it was. Last year or 2 years ago, they had a match on television. Unless I'm mistaken, it grabbed Kingston and Punk. But I think Kingston wrestled Danielson as well. I think they're going to have a very good match on Collision this weekend. Hopefully Danielson does not break something. Please, can we get through a month without Bryan Danielson breaking something? He breaks his arm, he breaks his eye socket. They can wrap this guy up in bubble wrap between now and Frozen. From the break, Tony Schiavone is backstage. Let us know the date of Sting's retirement. And we knew that Revolution was going to be in March, because generally the date was sometime in March. Well, now we have a date, and we have a location. He said that the date is going to be Sunday, March 3rd, 2024. He said one more fitting place for Sting's final match in the legendary Greensboro Coliseum, Greensboro, North Carolina. Mentioned Sting's undefeated streak. He's 24-0. He's like the Undertaker of AEW. If he couldn't wrestle the Undertaker, he's trying to mimic the Undertaker. He's trying to follow in his footsteps. Not even the Undertaker went 24-0. Sting is 24-0, according to Tony Schiavone. The longest win streak in AEW. And then he introduced Sting on one side, and he brought in Ric Flair on the other. Sting talked about March of 1988, very first world title match against Ric Flair. And he would have never guessed that he would be standing here 35 some odd years later with Rick and with Tony. He said they went 45 minutes in that match, commercial free. I don't know why they stressed it. They mentioned that a few times. And then we had that commercial free first hour of Raw, but then some kind of connection here. It's really stressing the commercial free aspect. 45 minutes commercial. Thank Rick for putting him on the map. And he agreed. What a big place for him to end his career all of these years. So Flair then went. That was Flair's. Flair said the words cannot be spoken to the volume and emphasis of what is about to take place. Make no mistake, I did not make Sting, he made himself. 45 minutes, commercial free, with Sting. Unthinkable. He didn't rehearse it, he didn't talk about it, we went out and did it. You really need Ric Flair here in this promo on television to talk about rehearsals. He got repro on pages and everything. He said they didn't have to rehearse it, they just went out and did it. And now here he is with Sting working for Tony Khan, and he's standing next to Tony Schiavone, his best friend, and he's going back to Greensboro. He said Highway 85 will be lined up from Richmond to Charlotte, like it always used to be. And then Tony Schiavone told us that tickets go on sale for Revolution on Friday, December 15th. So this was like a classic 80s style promo to hype up an upcoming event. We're coming to the Greensboro Coliseum and we think we're on sale right now. Let's bring in Sting and Ric Flair. It's like a classic 80s wrestling promo. You know, except Ric Flair now is 1,000 years old. He humbles over himself, but they had Ric Flair all over the place. Yes, it was all over. They were in Minnesota. He was all over the Twin Cities. He was all over in Minneapolis and everything. He was doing radio interviews, television interviews.
Oh shit!
All kinds of media stuff. appearances for AEW. And honestly, that's the best way to use Ric Flair. They're going to use him for something. I don't really have any desire to see him doing anything unknown. They use him in an ambassador role. You can send him out there to do media stuff. Like, we got a Dynamite coming to town, woo! And he goes out there and does the woo, and then the TNA does the woo with him. Fine, right? That's acceptable use. It's smart, too. Because I think they need to start doing even more like global advertising for some of these shows. They're having difficulty selling tickets. They just look out there and you can just see these half-empty buildings. And so, if they're doing local media, I don't think they're doing enough. And you can be doing more local. And if that means using a name like Ric Flair, people know to go out there and people lined up to buy tickets for Dynamite or buy tickets for Collision. That's why you should be using someone like Ric Flair. So it's smart. But now we know the date and we know the location. Revolution. They were just at the Greensboro Coliseum for a Collision in August, so they brought that building before. Obviously, no one's staying there for Black History there, so it's the most famous match. It's a 45-minute draw with Flair that's up on the map. It's the most famous match. The most infamous match of his career.
I still want to see that motherfucker.
Starcade 97. Some people might say the match with Seth Rollins because it's the match that really should have been.
You want to see all again?
But, Clash of the Champions, most famous match, so pretty cool. For second Continental Classic match of the night, we have Mark Briscoe one-on-one with Rush. And Rush is someone that we usually do not get to see on Dynamite. He's usually kept to the Saturday show. So nice to see him on Wednesday. Before they went to the picture-in-picture, Mark Briscoe was laying on the bed. Both men were down. Mark Briscoe's laying on the bed. It looked like he ate something off. Put it in his mouth. And as an ex-Excalibur commentary, they started laughing. And I think it was his gum. They gave him gum in his mouth, and the gum fell out. It looked like an M&M. Maybe a bang threw an M&M in the ring or been seeing it, flying it. It looked like an M&M, but I'm assuming it was his gum. It fell out of his mouth. He just picks it up and just swallows the fucking thing right back in his mouth. And I'm like, man, this guy, I guess they're on the 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Right?
It's always.
It's the 5 seconds.
They finally came on. The people finally came on next door.
You gonna go back to the mall?
I'm going back right now.
So, CCD, bro. Why did you pick your shot?
The trailer wasn't loaded. Look out for the mail council, from the NBA, They said they sent it out here.
I ain't gonna get it. Ain't no dump.
Not needed.
I wait my steering wheel. I wait my steering wheel stuff to jump. Okay. Not even racing.
You got the tracking number on that shit?
Yeah, I got it on my phone. It's right here. Look at the more cheating. Here, go ahead.
Alright. Take a shower. You taking a shower in the morning, it kind of works out better when you guys drive.
Now see why you run the water so for a long time, so we warm that motherfucker you get into that.
Snow to make sure that the room get hot.
Okay, what's the motor at?
Left.
So either we was
So the room
will get warm.
But he finished the match. Not only did he finish the match, he ended up having a
Anyway.
with Mark Briscoe.
Where's your money on that shit?
Briscoe connected with the Exploder.
I'm gonna warm up this week though. And next week we're gonna warm up. So one of the days I said it's
Briscoe to explode out of the corner.
They said spring don't start so much, but still, it's still cold out there. Right, make it right. But no, your girlfriend, no, your girl was almost but you they keep going around Valentine's. That's just, you can't get your shit together, man. You want that pussy too much.
Yeah, you gotta know this shit.
I said, check this out. You getting shorted on that job and she still wanna do shit.
Oh, you feel bad for shit?
No, he getting shorted on that job on the money tip.
No,
I said,
They go ahead, son. They put me there. They take a month to get here because that shit was all overseas.
no, it's because of the way how you pay. the way how you pay. You can pay if you want it fast. They gonna charge you.
Yeah. I reckon my.
Keep on that stupid shit.
That's all I'm getting. That's all I need. Oh, goddamn.
Coming around.
I know I could have been on this bitch all this. There you go.
Heads up. Here's the
The doctor checked out Bruce's leg during the break. Briscoe connected with an exploder. Bruce hit a backdrop driver, and he was looking for bull's horns, only for Briscoe to explode out of the corner into the spear. The monster is obviously not one of them boys. No, see, I'm not one of them boys that wants to pick up a staph infection or some other disease in the ring. That's me. You can count me out of that one. Not one of them boys. That is correct. Oh, he came out of the corner. Briscoe didn't speak. Roosh escaped a J-Trailer. Briscoe then opted for an Enziguri, and that sent Roosh to the apron. Briscoe followed him out to the apron, and he came charging in. And Roosh grabbed him and delivered an overhead suplex. And Briscoe went flying all the way down and crashed and burned on the ground. That did not look like a happy ending for Briscoe. Happy ending. That's another thing. You never know what's going on. Maybe before the show there was a happy ending in there. You don't know what kind of points are in the ring. I'm just saying. Gross. Come on, man. What are you doing? I don't know who they let in that ring before the show. I don't know what Doc Samson does and Justin Roberts does before the show starts. Slee and Renee, right? Haven't they talked about weird places they've had sex before in their podcast? You don't know what they're doing in the ring before the show, before that. And then he picks up the gun and puts it back in his mouth name. Anyway, so, that did not look like a fun landing for Mark Briscoe. Both men fought in the corner. Bruce got knocked backwards, though, off the rope, landed flat on his back. Briscoe hit the Rocky Bow, only got 2. Rush again avoided the Jay Trailer. He hit an overhead throw into the corner. He followed with the bull's horns, and he got it. Which I was happy to see. Glad that Rush picked up the win here. If he did hurt himself, my hope is that it's something like a full hamstring or something that is relatively minor. It's nothing serious. The last thing this company needs is another injury. So let's hope that Rush is okay. But this was real good stuff. I would like to see it. I would like to see Rush be one of the beneficiaries of this tournament. I've talked about Swerve Strickland and hoping that he comes out of this in a better position than he was in coming into it. Rush is another one of those guys. More than most, who I would like to see benefit from this in some way. I mentioned that we don't usually see him on the Wednesday show. Why not? Why not let him make some more appearances? Let's get him on Dynamite. Why segregate him into one show? Why only have him on Collision or Rampage and Collision and not Dynamite? Okay? The more we see of him, the better. So he's someone you can actually end up wrong. We got this tournament. If Tony Khan actually follows up on that and his plan for him, unfortunately, I am. Oh, there I go, assuming we can throw one duo. RJ City was backstage with timeless Toni Storm. She was laying on a couch with her legs in his lap. Luther and Mariah May were standing behind them watching. And Toni was insulted about her acceptance speech last week, being interrupted. That was by Skype. But still went out and partied at the compound with JFK and Kennedy's. But she's exhausted, and she has a touch of the gout. Maybe she got that in the ring, too. They asks if she's worried that she has to defend her AEW Women's World title. And Toni name dropped a bunch of old Hollywood stars and said that if they weren't worried, then neither was she. And then she asked if RJ would take her shoes off for her, and in the segment, which he did, in Taz commentary, he said that
why are they moving? Why are they moving?
It's a public service announcement. Yes. My idea from Mariah May, before she even came into AEW, there was rumors that they might bring her in, that she might be doing something with Toni Storm, might get her standing in for Toni as her surrogate. Toni was exhausted, she's hurt, she wants the night off, Mariah May can step in. So I think that's where this is. If they said that she's defending the title next week, maybe she will, maybe she won't. Maybe she won't be. Maybe Mariah May. And then we had the AEW World Champion, MJF. This man is the walking. Comes out there, he's got his walking stick. They're talking on commentary about, the shoulder, what they're talking about before, the torn labrum. But he's all smiles, and he's got his title wrapped around his waist. He makes his way down to the ring. He says it's going to be him and Samoa Joe at World's End for the AEW World Championship. He said Samoa Joe as a person, not a fan of him, but professionally he respects him. He said he didn't come here to line his pockets. He came here because he believed he knows 3 letters. He was pointing at the AEW logo. Then started chanting AEW. He said back in the early 2000s, he remembers getting a poster in his mailbox that said TNA Wrestling. I never got it. Did he just randomly get a TNA Wrestling poster in the mail? I'm going to order it. He must have asked for it. He didn't know what it was. And he tuned in, and he loved what he saw. And that included the Samoan submission machine. He said he made it look a little unconventional. Joe maybe did not look like your typical wrestling star who pushed and then he didn't seem to care, and neither did the fans. The fans knew that when he walked through that curtain, he was the baddest man on God's green. Unfortunately, later on, he was not afforded the opportunity to be a world champion when he was in WWE. Boom! 2 birds were out. I agree. Don't even get me started. Now, to be fair, Joe did get bitten by the injury bug quite a bit. He was in WWE. He did have a run with the NXT Championship when he was on the NXT brand. But he had to go back to that great Balls of Fire. And that, the story over the years has been that Brock Lesnar supposedly wanted to lose it, or was willing anyway to drop the championship, the Universal title to Samoa Joe when they had their match for that one time on paper. Vince McMahon did not see Samoa Joe in that role. He did not want Samoa Joe to have the championship. That was a mistake. That was his turn right there. That was his opportunity, and they missed it. It sucks, but he's right. He was not afforded the opportunity. He said, but Samoa Joe proved that you did not have to be a male model bodybuilder to be successful. Without a guy like Joe, there may be no AEW. So Joe, as much as it pains me to admit, he says, hey, what was the last time that you remember MJF made this compliment to someone other than Adam, to an opponent going into it? He said, while he's happy to go down the road Joe helped pave, he's not doing too shabby himself. He says he's been in AEW since day one, and he's helped build this place brick by brick. And he did it by beating some of the biggest names in this industry. Names like Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, which did get some boos, Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, and Kenny Omega. But all the names that he's beat, all the names that he's put in the ring with, the one he feels the most fortunate to have been able to survive is Samoa. But December 30th is not about Joe's legacy, it's about his legacy. And whether Max Friedman can outlast the final boss of this sport one more time. So now he's going to make a promise to everybody watching at home, everybody in the building. Joe on December 30th, I don't care.
Come on, man, what the fuck?
In and out. I guess that's another guy.
That was bullshit.
I don't care if my left knee keeps sliding in and out. I don't care if my hip keeps popping out of its socket. I don't care if my shoulder is hanging by a thread. I am going to show the world in the Nassau Coliseum. It is not about the size of the dog in the fight. It is about the size of the fight in the dog. And if Joe wants to take the title from him, he's going to have to put him down. The arena went dark at this point. And then we got a strobe light, so I hope nobody is prone to seizure. We got the strobe light effect on MJF in the ring. When the lights, though, came back on, 4 of the Devil's Rejects were in the ring. They were holding MJF down, and there was one masked man in the ring and a baseball bat in his hand.
Can't see the motherfucker.
To lay a beat down on MJF when it's Samoa Joe's music. Now, as soon as Samoa Joe's music hit, he was already at ringside. So why did we need his music? If he wasn't coming down the aisle, he came out of the crowd, he was already there.
Shit, man,
Why
what
were
the
they
fuck?
playing his music? There were a lot of very weird production disputes on this show. That stuff wasn't right for the show. There were a lot of weird things on this show, just little things, nothing really made
Oh, messed up.
They don't even play them for the whole censored thing later. That's on TBS.
Right,
There was just a lot of weird moments. That was just weird. Why didn't play this? So anyway, he's already there. He's at ringside. He pulls the guy out of the ring and saves MJF. Because, of course...
Oh, that's why I had to take the helicopter down. That's why I couldn't get the shit.
Remember, MJF was willing to wrestle him in the ring.
Oh, if I knew that, they ain't think nothing about taking the helicopter down.
I don't want you to go on the internet. I don't want you to go on social media and piss, bitch, moan, and complain that, oh, it was fair, that wasn't 100%. I want you at your best. So, you didn't want MJF to get hurt here because he's got his title match coming up at World's End. He wants this guy to be in TikTok shape, even though he's not going to be. He ain't going to be in TikTok shape at World's End. He made a save for MJF. Now, the screen goes black. We don't see the devil. We see words on the screen. Reminded me of, they did this stuff in the state in WWE. In fact, this was a promo that was kind of Saturday Night Live in WrestleMania. Wasn't it? They had a promo with like words on the screen. We had words on the screen. said, in the shadows, our game begins. Next week, MJF and Samoa Joe. Will you face the unknown in a tag match? Are you a hero? And Joe was not interested in a tag match for the reasons I just mentioned. He wants MJF to be at his best. And he's hurt, and he's injured, and he doesn't want him to get further injured. MJF gets a bite, and he says he's sick of the Scooby-Doo bullshit. He's going to take out every single one of them, and he accepts the bullshit. This pissed off Samoa Joe, but he accepted, so it's already done. After the break, Excalibur, they come back to the announcements. Excalibur said that AEW, this is right. He says AEW IT security is on the case. They're investigating the issue. AEW IT security. I wonder if Tony Khan has Bryan Danielson heading that team up there. They have an IT security team. And they're going to be heading up an investigation into exactly what's going on. Tony Schiavone says they believe this to be an internal. And whoever it is has the ability to tap into their lighting and broadcast system. So basically, it's every group that has ever had the lights go out before they magically appear at the ring. So maybe it's the House of Black. Did anybody interview Malachi Black? Bernie Mac? Buddy Madden? Every time they show up, the lights go out, right? And the lights come back on. Maybe it's them. Who investigates? They're going to get to the bottom. Maybe it's Retribution.
Good shot, Sergeant.
Mustafa Ali is going to be a free agent. Right? About another month, his non-compete's going to be up. It worked out so well for him the first time. Johnny then said that Tony Khan agreed to give MJF what he wants. And so next week on Dynamite, it's going to be MJF and Joe against a mystery tag team in Montreal. Tony Khan allowing his world champion. We look at this storyline. He's allowing his world champion to go out there after admitting that he has a torn labrum and all of these other injuries. Tony Khan is okay with putting his world champion in the ring next week in a tag team match. The thing about the MJF promo that I liked, we've seen MJF promos that are a lot deeper and longer and better than this one. The thing I liked about this one is the fact that, unlike most of his other promos, and almost every promo when he was healed, he didn't go out there and bury his opponent. He didn't go out there and lob schoolyard insults at him and talk about how much better he is. And he put him over. I don't think I've ever heard him put somebody over as strongly in a promo than he did Samoa Joe here tonight on the show. He put him over, and then at the very end, he brought it back to himself. And he said that at World's End, he's going to be the one to come out on top. That's how you do it. It doesn't benefit him to go out there and say, I already beat you once, you suck, you know. Because all you're doing is tearing down your opponent. So when you beat him, who cares? What's the
Man, that's the one I need right there.
You talk about how, you know what, I don't like you on a personal level. Professionally, man, I mean, I've been watching you forever. You're a badass. I respect you. But on December 30th, I'm going to beat you. I have to beat you. Basic stuff. This is exactly what it needs to be. Very straightforward stuff to the point. Now, again, I wonder how things are going to go from second. You got to take the injury situation into the equation. You've got the Neville situation that I don't think is going to be resolved at least until World's End. I mean, I'm of the mind that we get some kind of reveal at that show. But whether we do or not, this is at least going that far. I think it might culminate there. Maybe we get a new chapter. Yeah, because once we get the reveal, we're going to have obviously a faction, a group of some kind, and then it's going to move into whatever the next chapter of the story is going to be. Take your pick as far as who the devil is. We've been talking about this now for weeks. There's plenty of options as to who the devil could be. Could end up being Adam Cole. You know, they're just going to drag it out for a while. It'll be Adam Cole. It could be Roderick Strong. It could be Jack Perry. Johnny Green. I mean, I'm here for the laughs. Sorry, Patrick. If it actually ends up being Jack Perry, I get that pretty fucking high. Although I would love to see the melt gun. I'm not going to lie. But you've got a lot of different options. Samoa Joe, there was part of me when this was it felt like Joe coming to his aid. Maybe they're doing that to throw us off the scene. And we're going to come to find out that either Joe is the devil or Joe has some connection or affiliation here to the people who are doing this. It just doesn't strike me as the sort of thing that Samoa Joe character would do. You know, all dressed up, you know, he's the devil. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to fit his modus operandi. But, you know, put him on the list too, yes. Joe could have some kind of connection, it will be some kind of a sham. And again, he wins the world title. We come to find out that this whole thing was orchestrated by him. After he lost at Grand Slam, he concocted this whole plan to get himself back into a position to challenge for the title. This is all part of some grand master plan. I don't think it's going to be Joe, but again, this kind of awesome. But I enjoyed the MJF. I like the fact that he really put Joe over. He gave us his efficiency.
Ah, bitch! Damn!
Wardlow, someone else who was not very fond. Wardlow against AR Fox. Now Fox, he caught Wardlow on the apron when he was coming into the ring. Big boot. Knocked him off. Then he came out in a dive. He tried to step up moonsault on the apron. Wardlow caught him though in midair. And he slammed Fox on the apron. The match officially began. Wardlow launched and he kneeled 3/4 of the way across the ring. Then he was stalking him on the floor. He tossed him back into the ring and onto his head. Fox escaped a gorilla press, took out the legs. He had a 450 splash, but Wardlow kicked out at 1. Wardlow started no-selling some strikes until the spine buster, a wind-up lariat connected. 2 power bombs followed. Wardlow hit a huge senton. He does the swanton bomb better than Jeff Hardy does. He hit a swanton bomb off the top. 1 final power bomb that forced the ref stoppage. Ref said, "No mas, that's it." And Wardlow left the ring. This was the most awful that anybody has gotten on Wardlow since he came back. The end result was exactly the same as this week. If MJF really is hurt, sure. And he really does have a torn labrum, but it turns out to be a serious sit-up injury that they have no choice but to get the belt over. And honestly, you can do this even if he isn't seriously injured. They want to take the belt off the world's end anymore. But you have Wardlow destroy him. Wardlow destroy him going into that pay-per-view. So now we know MJF is not 100%. If he goes on to lose, he's got this built-in issue with Wardlow now when he comes back. You know, as far as the two of them, they kind of go off and do their thing, and he has a reason to come back and go after Wardlow, trying to get his belt back. Just for Wardlow's sake, I mean, you can use that if he's going to lose anyway, to try to, you know, put some heat on Wardlow, or MJF knows the way to get all, you know, sticky in ways that they can use this to Wardlow's advantage if MJF really is that good. But we've seen the devil stuff where the men have attacked the acclaimed people. And there's one guy, actually, I didn't notice in this segment when the mass event came out before, but one guy who had the body type and movements for him. And we've heard that people that are dressed up as these, we'll call them ninjas, are the actual people who may be revealed in those roles when we get the review. The devil is probably played by someone, it doesn't even matter, right? But supposedly the people in those costumes are the people that will be ultimately revealed. So Wardlow may be one of the henchmen. He may have a connection to this devil story. He is not the devil, but he may end up being one of the devil's henchmen and part of whatever this group is going to be, because he was so dead set on getting revenge on MJF. He may be part of this whole plot. Now they have to do something with Wardlow, man. This guy comes out there, and, you know, before he would come out and he felt like a star. Now Wardlow comes out, that star has burned out. They've got to reignite it somehow. But again, this guy comes to the ring and there's just, that feeling is gone. It's just not there. And I really hope for his sake, because he seems like a nice guy, and he's got a, you know, head on his shoulders. If you ever listen to him,
Get out of the way.
Damn.
He seems like someone that you would want to push as one of your tops.
Holy cow, she
And I want to
can
see him
fly
succeed.
Garrison
I
had
think
him located.
he still could be a big star, whether it's
He
with
doesn't
Tony
know
Khan
who
or
I am,
whether
nor
it's
was I
with Triple
supposed to
H.
do,
I think he
fight
can
him?
still be a big star.
I've kept his line of defense.
I just don't